First of all, we all know why you clicked on this video, because you want to learn what it's like to date online. So grab yourself a drink, grab some snacks. We are going to spill the tea. Hey, it's Tanya. So as you can tell by the title of the video, we are going to be talking about my personal experience with online dating and dating apps. Before we get into it, I just want to say welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome. I hope you stick around by hitting that subscribe button down below. So let's just jump straight into today's video. So with the way things are at the minute, obviously online dating has become such a big thing because you can't basically go outside. So how else are you going to meet someone? So people are turning more and more to online dating or dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, those kind of things. So today I am going to talk with you all about my personal experience with online dating. So before we jump into it, I'm just going to give you a quick little backstory onto me and who I am and all that kind of jazz, how I did the whole online dating thing. So for me personally, I got into a relationship when I was about 16. I had literally just turned 16, like maybe a couple of weeks, and I got into a relationship, and yeah, so that was basically it. I was in that relationship for almost 9 years. It ended just before my 25th birthday, so it was literally like 2-3 days before my 25th birthday was when I got out of that relationship. So for me personally, I had never done the whole dating scene. It just wasn't something that I ever experienced because, like I said, I was in a long-term relationship from the age of 16, so I never actually experienced the whole dating scene or like going to nightclubs and meeting randoms and things like that. It just wasn't something I got to experience. So fast forward to when I was 25 and internet dating was a thing. So obviously when my relationship ended, I hadn't got that experience of how to date someone or how to even go about dating someone. So I was told by friends and stuff to jump online, to go on these dating apps. At the time, Tinder was kind of new enough out, I suppose, and it was kind of just circulating a little bit at that time. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot, see what it's all about. So I jumped on to Tinder, set myself up a little profile, had some cute pics. Well, I thought they were cute. So had some really cute pics, had like a reasonable enough little bio, and did the whole swiping thing. For me personally, I found Tinder to be a little bit more on the kind of hookup kind of style of things. Like I didn't think people were actually looking for serious relationships on Tinder. I felt that any of the guys who had messaged me and things like that were literally just looking for a hookup. And I ain't about that life. Ain't nobody got time for this. I think as well, because I was at the age I was at, like I was 25. By the time I joined Tinder, I was probably like nearly 26. So I feel like people who are on Tinder are there just for hookups or like, you know, just to kind of get out onto the scene. So I feel like with Tinder, because I bypassed the whole late teens, early 20s kind of slutty phase, I suppose, I kind of didn't get it. Like I just didn't get it. I didn't get the whole concept of it. I didn't really get the vibe from it. It wasn't really something for me. I didn't really meet up with anyone on it. So I was kind of on and off Tinder a little bit. Like I'd go on it every now and again when I was bored and just swipe and things like that. But around November time, October time even of 2018, I started talking to someone, and yeah, he was really, really nice. We were talking for a couple of weeks and there was a bit of a distance between us. So he lived about 2 hours away or so. I'm from Ireland, if you didn't know. Ireland is a small enough country. You can be from one end of the country to the other in about 6 hours. That's literally like, it's an island, it's very small. So a 2-hour drive isn't really that much. Like a lot of people would do the whole distance relationship thing. So yeah, he lived about 2 hours away. So that was fine. I went to New York on a little holiday. So I was gone for about a week. And the whole time I was gone, we were still chatting, we were still messaging. We would FaceTime the whole time. Not when I was in New York, but like throughout the whole time of us chatting. So we were probably chatting for about a month or so before we met up. Yeah, so we would FaceTime, we would call each other and stuff like that. So we got pretty comfortable talking to each other on the phone. So we decided that we would meet up the day I came home from New York. So I came home from New York on the Friday. So it was like 8 a.m. on the Friday morning or something like that. So I came home and I was like not meeting him till about 5-ish that evening. I was like, great, I have plenty of time to get ready. I was off a plane, so I felt like grubby late and things like that. So I really needed to go for a shower. I really needed to sort my shit out. So I was like, you know what? It's only 8 o'clock. I'm jet lagged. I'm tired. Let's go for a quick nap. And I fell asleep.
You fell asleep?
So yeah, I fell asleep, and when I woke up it was like 3:30 or something, and I was like, shit, I have to get ready, I have to shower, I have to clean my hair, I have to blow dry my hair, I have to look cute, I have to do my makeup. So I was rushing. So I had messaged him saying, look, I'm going to be a little bit late, do you mind waiting? He was like, that's fine. He was meeting a friend that lived close enough to my town, so that's why he was in this area. So we decided to meet up in my town, or like near enough my town. That was fine. So I got ready and I left the house, but I didn't realize that when I was in America my phone bill had transferred from a contract bill to prepay. I didn't obviously top up my phone because I didn't realize that I had switched over from bill pay to prepay, and I had no credit in my phone, so I couldn't call him, I couldn't text him. I got to the place where we were meeting and I sat in my car trying to like contact him, and I was like, shit, I've got no credit. So I was frantically trying to join like local Wi-Fi, trying to get credit into my phone, and finally got credit into my phone, and I was literally just about to call him when I saw him drive away. So yeah, he drove away. I called him up. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry I was late. I had no credit in my phone. I couldn't call you. I couldn't text you. I'm really, really sorry. Can you come back? And he was like, bitch, no. Like, he was like, no, I waited for you for like an hour and you were late, and then you didn't bother getting out your car to come see where I was. And I was like, well, I thought you'd be inside, and I parked right in front of the window so I'd be able to see if he was there, and he wasn't. He was waiting in his car. So I didn't want to get out and go to some randomer's car and be like, hi, are you the guy from the internet? No, I didn't want to do that. So anyway, we were chatting for a little while. He decided, okay, I'll give you another chance. I was like, great. So we decided to meet up near where he lived. I thought it was only fair that I make the distance this time, seeing as he did it the last time and I basically stood him up. So fast forward to a couple of days later, and I get myself ready. I leave extra early this time just to make sure, and I get there. I walk in. We were going to go to the cinema for our first date, so I walk in and he's there on the phone. So I'm like, grand, he'll probably finish up his call in a second. He sees me now and I'll just wait. So I stood off to the side and kind of was looking around, waiting for him to get off the phone to whoever he was talking to, and he left me standing there for 10 minutes. 10 minutes while he chatted to someone on the phone, just having a casual conversation, and I was kind of standing there being like, hello, I'm supposed to be like your date. So that was fine. He finally got off the phone. I was like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He hung up the phone. We got into the queue to get the tickets for the movie, and he continued to go on Facebook on his phone, and I was like, okay. So I was standing there beside him while he was just scrolling through Facebook, not talking to me at all. Like, he was so chatty whenever we spoke on the phone or whenever we FaceTimed, but in person I couldn't have been more unwanted. So I was like, fine, okay, he's probably nervous. Like, bitch, stop making excuses for him, he's ignoring you. So anyway, we get to the top of the queue and he's like, do you want anything to eat, like popcorn, a drink, anything like that? I was like, you know, being a girl, I was like, no, I'm fine, don't worry about me, I'm okay. So he proceeds to order himself a large combo, so like a large popcorn, a large drink. Cool. We get into the screen and he doesn't even offer to share. Okay, I don't know, am I overreacting, or is that just the polite thing to do? You get a large popcorn, do you not turn to the person you're there with and be like, do you want to share my popcorn? Well, he did not. So that date ended. He walked me back to my car and then he just proceeded to walk away. I was like, all right then, chat to you later. So then he like messaged me or whatever when I was on my way home, and he was like, oh, it was great seeing you, I had such a great time. But really, you had a great time? Because I didn't. So long story short, that just didn't go anywhere, because you don't invite someone on a date and, okay, I'm sorry I accidentally stood you up, it wasn't my fault, I was jet lagged, but you don't proceed to continue a conversation with someone on the phone when your date is waiting for you, or you don't go on Facebook and scroll through Facebook for like 5 minutes while you're queuing to go see a movie with this date. So it was just a shit show basically. So he was like the only person I met up with from Tinder, because it wasn't for me. Yeah, I didn't have a great experience. A lot of the messages I got were just dirty, creepy men saying shit like, when you come to sit on my face. Guys, if there's any guys watching this, please do not message a girl online and be like, when you come sitting on my face, oh, I'd love that on my face. Or just no, do not proceed with the dirty text messages. Just a nice, hey, how was your day? Hey, you popped up, I thought you looked cute, I'd love to get to know you. Those work. This whole, oh, let's bang, does not work. So also on Tinder, I was kind of trying a whole like kind of bantery approach. I thought maybe that would work and I'd get some interaction that way, because it's a conversation starter to like have a bit of banter, to show that I'm a fun, carefree girl. I like to have a bit of fun. I like to have a bit of a laugh. I have a great sense of humor. So let's put that out there. Let's see what happens. So this one guy that I matched with had that he worked for Coca-Cola in his bio. I was like, dude, that is legit my favorite drink in the entire world. It's meant to be. So I proceeded to message this guy after we matched, and I was like, I'll be really witty here and I will ask him, why does Coke taste better from a can instead of a bottle? He proceeded to reply, don't know. Really? Like, I was trying to have a bit of banter. You could have replied something like, oh my god, you're so right, I have no idea, I'm gonna ask at the next meeting. That would have been funny. So basically Tinder was just a no from me. It just did not work for me, and it wasn't my cup of tea, I guess. So I kind of dipped in and out of it. But then I heard about Bumble and I thought, it's another kind of gimmicky swipe left, swipe right type of thing. But me being me and being bored and single and stuff, I decided, I'll give it a go. It seems to be what everybody's talking about. I'm new to the dating scene. Well, at this point I had probably been single for about 2 years, but I was like, hey, I'll give it a go. What can I lose? So I actually found Bumble really great. It was different. So it was the same with the whole swiping thing, but it was different in the way that if you matched with a guy, so in my experience, if I matched with a guy, I had 24 hours to message the guy. If I didn't do it in that time frame, he was gone. I couldn't message him then. And if I did message him within the time frame, he had 24 hours then to reply to me. And if he didn't, I was gone. If he did, then we had unlimited time and we could just chat back and forth. With same-sex relationships, I think that or same-sex matches, I think it's either party can message. It's the same principle. You have 24 hours to message and you have 24 hours to get a reply. So that's basically how it works. But it also has an added feature where you can go on it just to look for friends. So you can go on it to search, it's called the Bumble BFF, I think, and you can go on that to message other people who just are looking for friends, people to hang out with, people to go for coffee with, like actual pals rather than someone to hook up with or someone to date. So my experience with Bumble was quite good. So when you message a guy that you've matched with, it actually prompts you with like cool different little kind of opening messages, I suppose you could say. So it gives you different things to ask them, which I thought was great because I am shit at messaging first. I can't do it. I get really nervous. So the fact that it gave me the option of picking like a pre-generated one was great. So I always used that feature. Like I never actually physically wrote out the message. I always just clicked what the message was and just sent it and hoped for the best. Chatted to a couple of guys and this one guy kind of stood out and we just clicked from day one. Like it was message after message. It was like, I actually don't think we've gone a day without talking to each other. So this was about May of 2019 that we started chatting. It was actually a couple of days after my birthday. I remember that. It was 2 days after my birthday and we started chatting and we just instantly clicked. We probably chatted for about 2 weeks before we met up, and then when we did meet up, we're from near enough the same area, like we're from the same county, so it's easy for us to meet up. We're like half an hour away from each other, if even. So we went on our first date. If you can't tell where I'm going with this guy is now my boyfriend. His name is Killian, so we're just gonna say Killian. So yeah, I proceeded to go on my first date with Killian and it was great. So we met in like a neutral town and I got into his car and he was like, oh, let's go to Dublin. I was like, bitch, no, I don't know you. You're from the internet. You're scary. You could kill me. So we decided not to go to Dublin. But I still laugh about it now because he was not going to kill me. People in my actual personal life knew him, so it's not like he was a serial killer. Like he was a real person that people in my life knew, so it was fine. But yeah, we went on our first date and we literally just spent the entire day talking, like for hours. We just chatted and then like we got onto the topic of Bumble and like messages and things like that, and he asked me, oh, like what kind of messages guys would send, and I was like saying that I messaged this one guy with the prompt thing, so the thing that comes up with like the automated messages, so I didn't have to write them, and the message was something like, what's the highlight of your week or something, and I was like, the guy proceeded to reply something like, would it be cheesy to say this moment, and I was like to Killian, oh, that's so cheesy. Killian turns to me and he goes, Tanya, that was me. I could have had the ground open up and swallow me at that moment in time and I would have been pretty okay with it. But to this day he still laughs about it, like how embarrassing it was and like how I basically just humiliated him and humiliated myself all in the one go. But he proceeded to keep seeing me and he is still seeing me, so it obviously didn't ruin anything, it obviously made him laugh, so that was great. So yeah, me and Killian have now been together for about 1.5 years. It's actually like the best thing to have come out of my entire experience with online dating or with the dating apps. It's mad how like life goes. So clearly I was on Tinder and I was on Bumble for like 2 years or 2.5 years, something like that, and I wasn't matching with anybody. So for my 27, I think my 27, yeah, I'm gonna be 29 this year. So for my 27th birthday, I decided to treat myself to a trip to Rome. I had wanted to go to Rome for a really long time. I have a vlog, it will be linked in the cards above. I had wanted to go to Rome for a really long time, but I was sick of waiting for someone to bring me, so I decided to bring myself, and I brought my mom with me, so the two of us went off to Rome for my birthday. And when I came back from Rome, I had kind of realized that I don't need anyone, like I don't need a relationship. I was actually really happy with being by myself, it took me a long time to get to that point in my life, but I felt happy, I was content with myself, I was content with doing things by myself. I was making all these plans to travel a lot more by myself, and because I had gotten the bug, it was something that I really enjoyed doing, so I was content, I was happy out. So I was barely on dating apps. I would only go on if someone sent me a message or something like that, and then one day I just went on Bumble, I started swiping, matched with Killian, and bang, he came into my life when I least expected it, and I haven't looked back since because he was a blessing. He literally has helped me in ways that I hope he knows, with confidence and with my mental health and things like that. When you're least expecting something, that's when it will be given to you, and I'm a firm believer in what's for you won't pass you, and I think that we were just meant to cross paths at that time in our life. That is basically my experience. I would definitely recommend it if you are just looking for a bit of company or like to get you kind of out onto the dating scene, to go on a couple of dates or like virtual dates, then definitely try it out. You never know what's out there until you try, I suppose. And from myself, I had a really positive experience. Like, I know that it can be quite scary about going online and not really knowing the person, but if you feel comfortable enough talking to them online, then maybe video call or something like that to kind of get to see them as a real person and know they're not a catfish. So that would be my opinion. I think if it's something you want to try, definitely give it a go. So that is basically it. That was my entire experience with Tinder, Bumble. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button to see more content from me, and I will chat to you guys in my next video. Bye!